In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to configure a layer 3 port channel. So there's two types of ether channels. There's a layer 2 ether channel and a layer 3 ether channel or port channel. And the difference is that with a layer 3 port channel, what happens is you bundle multiple switch interfaces into a single logical interface and assign it to an IP address. And the IP address is then included in the local routing table. Now in this example, I've got multi-layer switches. These are layer 3 switches. So they do support routing. And so what I'm going to do is configure the port channel and then verify it with a command and test network connectivity between each host and the server. The hosts themselves are assigned to different VLANs. This is VLAN 10, this is VLAN 11, and that's VLAN 12. So they're all in 3 different VLANs, so for the host to communicate with the server, there has to be routing enabled. So the first thing I'm going to do is select switch 1 and go to the CLI. I'm going to sign on and start configuring terminal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these interfaces here, Gig Ethernet 01 and 02. And I'm going to use those to create a port channel and assign an interface, an IP address. So I'll type interface or just int gig 01. What I'm going to do is, because this is a layer 3 switch, I have to tell it I want to create a routed port or an IP routed port. So I need to turn off the switching option, telling it's not going to be used as a switch port. So I'll type no switch port. The next thing I want to do is assign a channel group. And in this case, I'm going to use a channel group command. I'm going to assign it a number, just arbitrary. I'm going to call it 2. And then mode active. And when I use mode active, what that does is that tells the switch to use LACP instead of PEG-P. LACP is the current standard for Cisco, and it's on the new CCNA exam. So I'm going to do that. And that will send request packets from switch 1 to switch 2 saying I want to set up an ether channel. And I'll do a no shut. And that's done. So next thing I need to do is configure the next switch interface 02, gig 02. So I'm just going to cycle up, use the up arrow because I don't have to retype it all. So we'll use 02. And I'll use the same commands again. I'm going to turn off the switching on the port. And I'm going to assign it to the same channel group. They all have to match. And then no shut. So I'm going to go up one level now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a port channel now. Interface port channel. And I'm going to assign the same number. So it's bound, so they get bind. So the interface is creating a logical interface from those from the channel group, from the things that from gig 01 and 02. So in this case, I'm going to assign an IP address. I'm going to 192.168.3.1. Okay, and I'll do a no shut. First I'm going to assign it to, and I'll do a no shut. So that assigns it. At this point I'll go up one level. And the next thing I need to do is go over to the next switch. We do the same thing. Same interfaces, because it all has to match. And sign on. Configure terminal. Oh. Typo. Configure terminal. Okay. So we'll start with gig 1 again. So So I don't have to type gigabit Ethernet, I can just go gig 01. That works as well. Turn off switching. And assign a channel group. In this case, I'm going to use the same number for all switches because they have to match. And active. I'll just use active as well. And no shut. And I'll go through and I'll do gig 02 as well. I'm going to turn off switching. And channel group 2, no shut. So I have to do the same thing. I have to create a layer 3 port channel here. I'll go interface port channel, same number 2. And it has to be in the same subnet as the neighbor switch. I'm going to go 192.168.3.2 because the other one is 3.1. I'll do a no shut. It's always good to do a no shut on a layer 3 interface. Make sure it's active. I'll copy run to start. I want to update the startup configuration. It's a standard thing to do. And here, same thing. Switch 1. So now I want to verify the port channel. So to do that, I'm going to run this command here. Show ether channel port channel. What the results I get here are, so here it is, so it shows port channel 2, that's the aggregator, sometimes referred to as link aggregation or lag, and that tells me how long it's been up, the port channel. There's two ports, it's running LACP, port state is port channeling, and here there's the 2 ports, gig 01 and 02, they are both active. So everything looks fine here. So what I'll do is I'll go over to switch 2, and it'll give me the same thing because it's active. It wouldn't show as active. It's the same information here as well. So they're both active on that switch as well. I could go show ether channel summary. And you notice this RU here for port channel 2. If you look here, that's R is layer 3, U is in use, so that shows the port channels. Just some different information but says the same thing. So now test connectivity. So from host 1 I'm going to ping to the server, make sure it works. So that's 4.1. So it'll send 4 echo replies. Sometimes this takes a second try just to update the ARP tables on the layer 3 switches or routers. It's routers. So now all 4. So that all 4. So it can ping server 1. It's in a different VLAN. Host 2, I'll try the same thing. And there it is, so all 4. So that's network connectivity and layer 3 port channel.